Hello, my name is Harzing and I'm a professor, research mentor and staff development lead at Middlesex University London. Today I will be talking about how to create a supportive, collaborative and inclusive research culture. My next topic is how to provide leadership for building a collaborative and inclusive research culture. This presentation is made up of 4 parts. Before we've talked about the specific challenges that non-elite institutions face. In this section I will talk about some of the options on how to create a leadership structure for building a collaborative and inclusive research culture. Next, I will spend a significant chunk of this presentation outlining the program of research support that we have designed at Middlesex University, and I hope this will provide a useful source of comparison with your own institution. And then finally, especially for those who are in institutions that are quite new to building up research cultures or who are new to their role, I will provide some tips on where to start in your first years, and I will also highlight some of the challenges that I have experienced personally. Now, moving on to specific roles, you might have seen the recent Russell Group University report on strengthening the UK research culture and environment. They identified several universities that had a dedicated role for research development, research culture and research environment, and you can see them listed here. More generally, I see 3 key options for developing and sustaining collaborative and inclusive research cultures. The first option would be to simply include this responsibility in the research director role, which might work very well in smaller institutions and in the early phases, but this is quite hard to scale up. The second option would be to work with distributed professorial leadership, and this might work very well in some institutions too, but you do need to have professors who are really intrinsically motivated to do this and are not too focused on their own career. And in some countries there might also be a bit of a problem with demographic mismatch. In the UK, many senior professors are still white British males, whereas most junior academics are non-British, non-native English speakers, and many are female. And that's not necessarily a problem, but mentorship for non-majority mentees usually works best if they are matched with non-majority mentors. Now, the third option would be to have a dedicated role, as in the Russell Group examples that I gave in the previous slides, and my own current role at Middlesex University. I've speculated a bit about some criteria that might make for a good candidate for this. First of all, I think it would help if they have some experience with a research director type role, because that would help them to understand the context. It would also be good if they were well connected in the external academic world, because then they can help early and mid-career academics by opening up their networks and passing on any opportunities. And it's probably best if they are quite established in their own careers, so they don't feel the need to focus so much on advancing their own career. So this is where my role fits in with the current Middlesex University leadership structure for research, and you might be interested to look at this structure for just a few moments. We have purposefully attempted to provide leadership at every level, and the academics fulfilling these leadership positions are also at very different academic levels. At the university level, we have a Pro-Vice Chancellor Research who interacts closely with the 4 faculty deans research and knowledge exchange. And we have also just appointed 3 theme chairs for our 3 key research themes. And the idea is that we work in local and global communities of practice on specific projects. At the faculty level, the Deputy Deans Research and Knowledge Exchange provide leadership supported by myself in my role as staff development lead and by other professorial staff. Then at the department level within the faculty, we have research leads who guide between 20 and 40 academics, and these are typically a mix between professors and associate professors, and they work closely with me and the Deputy Dean Research and Knowledge Exchange. And as I will discuss later in this presentation, we also have about a dozen research clusters, which are really bottom-up initiatives, and they are typically led by early to mid-career academics, and all but 2 of our 20 or so cluster leads are senior lecturers. Now, just to clarify the difference between a Deputy Dean Research and Knowledge Exchange and my role as Staff Development Lead, I've summarized the key differences here. The Deputy Dean role is more a formal line management role, whereas my role is more an informal type of staff function. The Deputy Dean role is more institutionally focused and embedded in an organizational structure, whereas mine is more individually focused. The Deputy Dean role has a clear connection with the university level, whereas my role operates more at the local level within the faculty and individual departments. And finally, the Deputy Dean role content is a lot clearer, whereas mine is quite fluid. It includes a lot of ad hoc projects, such as working on the environment statement, research reputation management, and generally just TLC and matchmaking on research projects to motivate our junior researchers. But in reality, this is more of a continuum with different emphasis. The Deputy Dean also provides individual level local support, and I also take on some institutional level roles. And we both build up connections between academics. And some of my roles are gradually becoming more formalized as we go.